Welcome to the Daily Dish with Leanne Ely. This is a show about you, your life, and the vibrancy you want. Join us for daily motivation, wise women's tips, and more as we collectively gather together and move the needle in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Hello, lovelies. I'm so glad you're here. Well. What day is it? It is Transformational Tip Tuesday, and I've got a real show for you today. This is all personal stuff from my journal, and I hope you take notes because I feel really I feel good about sharing this with you because you're my friends and the people that I love in my inner circle, so to speak. So I appreciate all of you, and today's show is going to be a little bit of something, okay? Hello there, Flynn and Joanne, Kathy, Carla, Nancy, Mother Hen's in the house, by the way. We've got Doris and Jocelyn and Catherine already here. I'm so glad. Jackie just showed up. Here's our quote of the week. At any given moment, you have the power to say, "This is not how my story is going to end." Pinkies up, right? Amen to that. We need to make that announcement, because you know what? There is so much more to your story. There is so much more for you because you're here on purpose and for purpose, and don't you ever forget that. Right, Lisa? Right, Trisha? Also here in the house joining us today. We have, of course, the sprint last week. Did you post your results? Do so in our Hot Melt Sprint group on Facebook. And by the way, all of those of you who are on YouTube and all of those on Facebook, hello, thank you for joining us. Share this if it feels good. But I also want to let you know, on Monday, we are going live on TikTok as well. So we're omnimedia, man. We got it all going on. So pretty excited about that. So thank you again for showing up, for commenting, and for being a part of our little circle. You have no idea how much we love you guys and appreciate it. Q&A is happening on this Friday. You got your questions in yet? It's really easy to do. Just send them in to email to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday goes in the subject line, and then fire away. I'll take care of you. I will answer every single one of your little questions. I promise you. That's how we roll. Hey, Diane, I'm glad you're here. Omnimedia. I think Martha Stewart owns Omnimedia. What do I know? But it's a good term, right? Our supplement of the week, by the way, you want gorgeous hair, skin, and nails? You want joints that feel good? All of that. Beauty Support is the one. Beauty Support's our #1 selling supplement. And I'm telling you, this is how you buy it. This is how you stock it up. And this is how you get it so that it's the best price possible. Go to savingdinner.com/show. If you buy 3, we're going to throw this 4th bottle in there for you absolutely free. Yes, it works. Yes, it works. It's the very best stuff. And you know what else is nice about it? Then you can start taking a little bit more because you've got it all squirreled away. And if you want to, you are able to make a decision if you want to get 2 of these deals. So you can buy 6 and get 2 free. You can do it whatever you want to. It's just like a gala. That's what we do with the gala. We have our big bulk sales. Well, that's Beauty Support, and it is the best stuff in the whole entire world. Hey there, Sue and Carla. You take it every day. So do I. I take it at night too. And when I take it at night, I say, okay, let's make all the things grow. Hair, skin, nails. I want everything to look great. And cheers. Here's to my Mother Hen. This is my hot melt mix. Who's got their hot melt mix going right now? Right? 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. I know, girl, we need to do that. It works. This is hot melt mix. Remember, exogenous ketones to keep you in ketosis. And what else does it do? It also is full of electrolytes. And I'm going to tell you right now, electrolytes aren't just for athletes. They're for us, all the regular people. We all need this. It helps us to hydrate correctly. It's very important. And this is when we do it right now. This is showtime, right? Showtime. Look at Lynn. Lynn's taking it. Everybody's taking it. Let's do this. Get your beauty support on savingdinner.com/show. Other things. Confidence course is starting next Tuesday. Today is the last day for Inner Circle, y'all. But I can't wait. Tonight's going to be epic. It's going to be something. Bring your Kleenex, ladies. It's our pinning ceremony. Anyway, look, 8 weeks. This is what the course book looks like. 8 weeks to creating confidence. And we are starting next Tuesday at savingdinner.com/confidence. Go there and go get signed up for this, because for the next 8 weeks on Tuesday nights, we are going to learn how to create and have the confidence that we all want, right? Hey there, Chris, Gracie. I'm so glad you're here. Jane's in the house. Yay, yay, yay. I love seeing you all come on in here. So thanks so much for showing up. There's my girl, Lynn, too. I didn't say hello, Lynn. And Lucy's here. So that's at savingdinner.com/confidence to go find that course and to get signed up. You're going to want to do this. We got a lot of lovelies in the course, and it'll take us right through to about July 5th, right at the holiday. And then we have, of course, Full Bloom at the end of the month. And that's on July 29th and 30th. And actually the 31st as well, if you do the drop-in brunch. But you can find all the details at savingdinner.com/bloom. Bloom. It's Lucy's birthday today. Lucy, happy birthday. We love you. I'm so glad it's your birthday. You know, what is the alternative to not having a birthday, right? Yeah, no, we don't do that. So anyway, in-person Full Bloom, go to savingdinner.com/bloom. You can also join virtually and be there for all the action and watching through the camera. My daughter Caroline is going to be doing all the camera work and stuff. She's a genius with that stuff. So it's going to be such an epic adventure. Go get all the details right there at savingdinner.com/bloom and really pray on it and consider it, because I believe that this is maybe the needle mover that you need in your life. I know it is for a lot of lovelies, and it's going to be just a joyful occasion. We've got all the things going on. And don't forget about your phone. Your phone is a tool for getting special deals that nobody else is getting and freebies from us. All you have to do to join us, it's through your text message application, is text this phone number, 855-960-3720, and put the word join, all in caps, right there in the message. We will send you a message. You will reply back, yes, again, all in caps, and boom, you're in, right? I sent a lovely little Mother's Day thing. Did you get it? Did you miss out? I don't want you to miss that stuff. The other thing that I want to say that is, if you missed any of these announcements, you're going, wait a minute, what did she say? We have them all on a page now for you at savingdinner.com/announcement. And we put everything there so that if you were thinking, I don't remember what the URL was, or the link to go get this, supplement of the week or whatever, it's all there for you. How about that? Jenny did that, and she did a fantastic job. And don't forget, you can sign up for our newsletter at any time as well. Join the sprint, do all kinds of stuff, and we'll have all that stuff as well on the page for you, because we want to make sure that you feel seen. We want to make sure that you feel like you're a part of this, because we believe in community strongly. We know the results of being in a community and feeling seen, loved, and that someone's got your back. That's all us. That's how we roll. Angie, hello. Good to see you. What was a fabulous surprise, Nancy? What, that we have that? I don't know. Anyway, speaking of what, everything, this whole week, you know what the content is? Do you know? We're talking about letting go. Anyone here ever hold on to something so much, and in your heart of hearts, I just gotta let that go, but I just keep going back to it over and over again. Do you know what I'm talking about, right? Well, really what this is a broad term, this idea of letting go, for some of the inner work that we all are called to do. we are called to do this because as we grow, as we decide and make a life-changing decision that we want to live a vibrant, purposeful life, then stuff has just got to be let go of so we can add new things in. We all go to capacity. And I always say it's like a basket. A basket can only hold so much. And then we have to start deciding what needs to go and what can we bring in. And there's a whole process that goes along with this. And what I say is letting go really is the process of creating space that you want in your life so that you can live that vibrant life. Now, hear about this one. I've been on this planet for 63 years. On Friday, it's going to be 64 years. So that is, Friday the 13th. So it's a good luck day for me, right? But, I keep hearing that Beatles song in my head, when I'm 64, will you still need me? Will you still feed me? It's just, I remember hearing that for the first time when I was a kid. And now here I am. What is that about? But I started going through and looking at old journals and putting some stuff together. And I've been cleaning out my office. And well, if you're going to be here for Full Bloom, you'll get a tour of the office because it will be done by then. And it's being painted on Sunday and all kinds of things. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate that. I'll take that, girl. She said, you look good for 64. And by the way, tomorrow I'm getting a haircut. So there's going to be a little less of this too. So, it's time for change. We talked about that yesterday, and we talked about letting go of things really is a process of grieving as well. There's some grief involved, but letting go really is code for creating space. And I really embrace this hard. And I went through and started thinking about the lessons that I've learned because I actually dared to go into this place of courage to let go of a lot of stuff that I really needed to let go of. Okay, you ready to go there with me? You want me to share some of this? Because I think maybe they might help you with letting go. I mean, our experiences are different, aren't they? But the lesson is the same thing. There's the same plumb line there. So I want to share this with you. And the first thing I want to share with you, as I kind of alluded to, is that the biggest lesson of all is letting go does create the space. And I think back on when my mother died in 2016, and just the overwhelming grief of all of that, and having to deal with all of this stuff. When you lose somebody, it isn't just like, well, they're gone, and that's it. There's a whole bunch of, all of because you've all dealt with this, right? There's a lot of processing that goes on. It's an emotional, mental, it's physical. I remember, schlepping and putting stuff in boxes and cleaning out her room, all that stuff. And then the emotional stuff comes, and there's just it's a huge upheaval. But that letting go of her, and when she did finally leave this planet, and I believe it was a peaceful send off too, because she slipped off in the night when I finally fell asleep. She left, and I woke up 20 minutes later, and she was gone. I think she was waiting for me to fall asleep. But this whole thing, this is when my life really started with Mark. I mean, at the time we were dating, and he was such a love and very supportive, and stayed at my house, cooked meals for everyone. We had family in and out and all this other kind of stuff. My sister-in-law was there with me, and he was just Johnny on the spot. He'd go to the grocery store and make these meals and had that there. I mean, he was just great. But it was at that time, and after everything was gone, after all of it, I had the space to sit down and think about what's next with this man who's so wonderful. What's next? And we decided at that point, we're going to go to Colorado, and we did. It was bittersweet because I was letting go of that whole thing. And, there was a lot there, especially where I lived, that reminded me of my mom, because I had moved her to Charlotte. But, this is how life is, isn't it? When we let go of one thing, then something else has the space to start developing and become. And you know the rest of the story, of course. Number two, there's an inner shift that's sort of the predication, if you will, to letting go, because you have to redefine and you have to re-examine, what are my values? What matters to me? What's next? Do I want to keep doing more of the same, or do I want to start developing something new? And that's exactly how I looked at it all. And, and then funny enough, as you start to look at it and say, okay, so what is next? What am I going to do? How is this all going to work? And this is in 2016. And then into 2018, when I turned 60, I had this real revelation rather, that I didn't want to be cooking a chicken breast on TV for the rest of my life. I didn't want to constantly be talking about cooking and this, that, and the other thing. I wanted more. And I wanted to reach out, and I was going through a lot of growth myself. And do you know what? I asked a question to my email list and said, what do you think? We got bombarded with answers. And I told a few of you, if you remember, if you were back there, were on my email list back in 2018, you remember, it was just basically this question of, is this all there is? And here's, the old stuff was coming up with it. The pain was coming up with it. But I knew without a shadow of a doubt that in order to experience the growth that I wanted, I was going to have to struggle through that. I wasn't going to ignore it. I wasn't going to pretend it didn't exist, but I had to struggle through it because the inner shift was starting to happen. And we can't shut that down if this is the thing that we want, if this is the vibrancy that we want. That was number two. And number three, the fear fence rose. That thing got really big because everything was unknown at that time. And I'm thinking, who am I? I'm the dinner diva, for heaven's sakes. I've been cooking and doing all of this stuff since 1999. And I'm a little freelance writer. I'm a this, I'm a that. What do I know? And all I knew is what I knew was what I was learning myself. And what I found too was I had this real attachment. It was like yesterday I was telling you about these pictures. Of course I have an attachment to the dinner diva, my alter ego. I've loved her. I've loved her for almost 20 years. She came into being probably in 2002. So really, yeah, about 20 years now. And I've loved her, but it's time to let her go. And as the fear comes up, the thing that I noticed was it lets you know that your worth, your value, and even your security might be all entangled into the attachment itself. And I was thinking, well, can I have both? And the answer came to me is that since I started, a lot of people have come along. And there's a lot of women out there doing a really good job, including my own daughter. And it's okay to let that go. And it's okay to let that be theirs. And I'm okay to move into this place, even though I have kind of a, saving dinner is my website and always will be. But you're going, well, where's the congruity there? Well, maybe it's a little incongruous, but I can't say that. Congruous, incongruous, yep. But so what? Food's important. Food is fuel. And I still am always going to be on nutrition bandwagon. You know that. You know that. But the important part is that letting go of all of that doesn't mean I lost myself. It meant I found myself. I found the real depth and the real core of who I was as a woman, not just what I did, but who I was. And that was just everything. And the fact that I had people who said, yes, we want to hear about that. Yes, we're on that same journey and related to the whole thing made it so much better for me to say, let's go, and off we went. Number 4 was I allowed for the space. You know why? Because we can't hear from God if we don't have the space to hear from God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still. And when we're in that place of stillness, that's when we hear. If we're constantly filling up those space with more stuff and more things and more activity and have our earbuds in all the time, listening to more podcasts, more this, more that, We don't have that space to do that, We get busy and we take a lot make a lot of plans, and we avoid the void. And avoiding the void means that we don't have that place of process, because sometimes it's a delicate thing, and sometimes it's very deliberate, and sometimes it's brought to our attention, and sometimes it's just needs to be. So we have to allow for that. If we and I will say too that this is a sacred time too, often, for healing of the old stuff, for processing and renewing new stuff, and for growth, for becoming. And if we don't fear the space and embrace it, we get to experience this, but not if we fill it up with a bunch of stuff. It's sort of like clearing out everything and then bringing all this more stuff in. It's just different clutter, right? We need to maybe be a little bit minimalistic at this point and just allow for big empty spaces so that we can do this. Number 5, there's a cascade of emotions. That I noticed, which just really kind of threw me a little bit for a loop. There's old ones, there's surprising ones, there's new ones that all come up from it. But the thing is that the processing always takes a little bit longer than you think it is. I mean, sometimes we just, we want to go through it, right? We just want to get through it. We want to download the down low, whatever it is that we need to, so that we can move on and do what we want to do. But here's the thing that I've figured out, it's, many layered, many layers, just like one layer at a time, like an onion, sure. But when we're aware, we give ourselves full permission, we can process and not wallow. Because this is so important. Processing is a whole lot different than wallowing. Wallowing means that we're stuck like a pig in the mud with just can't go anywhere. Remember those 60s TV shows where everybody got stuck in quicksand somehow? When I was a kid, I had fear of quicksand. Nutty. You don't see it anymore. Does it really exist? I don't know. But quicksand, it's like quicksand. And that's just, going down that place. We don't want to get lost in that quicksand where we can't get out. What we want instead is the space to process, the ability to process. And when we do that, and when we give ourselves full permission to do that, then the new things happen out of that, and we go that next step, and we go that next level. We can't do that if we're wallowing, because wallowing is just saying, I'm just going to stay right there. That's not what that's about. Number 6 is everything has an ending, including the energy of letting go. Endings happen. They all happen. And I remember after a really hard breakup and the accommodating heartache that happened with that, it was pretty bad. It consumed me. I talked my girlfriend's ear off. I was cheated on, and I was so angry and so hurt, of course. But I was consumed by it, and it's what I thought about. And I would text her, I would talk to her and everything. And I mean, God bless her for listening to all of that garbage. But, it finally happened where one day I woke up and it wasn't consuming me nearly as much anymore. Not at all. It was a little bit less. And I had this glimmer of hope and this understanding that, I was going to get through this. And you know what? There's going to become a time where he's going to look back and think, oh my gosh, what have I done? And don't you know that happened? I got a knock on I was living on a condo and on Lake Wiley in North Carolina, in Charlotte, North Carolina, knock on the door. I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. And I reminded myself exactly of who I was. Fierce, capable, and like a phoenix, I was going to rise again, and I didn't have to go back and return like a dog to his vomit. It didn't value me. So why would I want to go back to that? And I had this vision, I remember very distinctly at the time, and I was going through counseling as well, by the way. And I had this vision of being a dog on the ground and at the king's table, at the king's table, and I was just getting scraps off the floor. Oh, and it just made me burst out into tears crying. And I said, I'm not going to be on the floor anymore begging for scraps. I'm going to sit at the table as an honored guest. That was huge for me. And it taught me everything that I needed to know about letting go and about having a little bit of pride, holding tight and fast to my own dignity, and knowing that I was worth way more than somebody like that. You know what? We are phoenixes, and we will bloody well rise again, won't we? Right out of the ash. Pinkies up for that. Anybody felt devastated and brought down and made a decision that you were going to rise again? Of course you have. You're the fierce women that I know you are. And, number 7 is that my higher self was calling. There was no denial of that. When your higher self calls, your higher self is going to ask you to do something hard. Your higher self is going to say, this is going to be fun. Your higher self is going to say, yes, you can. Don't turn yourself down. And remember this, Beyonce said this, but you can't wear your crown with your head down. Put your head up, girl. Put your chin up and know who you are. You are the daughter of the Most High King. Fearfully and wonderfully made, on purpose and for purpose. You don't belong on the floor with the dog for the scraps. You belong as an honored guest at that table, just like I do. You were called for such a time as this. Hear me on this. It's not just me. These are my lessons, maybe, but you're probably, some of you are in the midst of all of this right now. You can't play small with your life. You've got one life to live. One. That's it. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to rise out of the ash? Are you going to make a decision that you're going to be this much more than just in the ash heap? Are you? Of course you are. That's what wise women do. They rise out of their ashes. They rise. They redeem the years that the locusts have taken away from them. And it can be done simply by understanding who you are and whose you are. It is that explicitly simple. And because of that, we have the ability to turn around and start taking charge of our lives the way it's meant to be, here on purpose and for purpose. So here's the thing. I learned by letting go, I wasn't being punished. I was actually being given something. Letting go of bad situations, letting go of old memories, letting go of something that's been near and dear and truly loved by you. Because letting go of all of these different things, the hard stuff, the good stuff, even the treasured stuff, allows for this expansion of who you are. Your higher self is calling. Do you hear the call? I sure hope so. Because when you do this, and when you make a decision that you are done with just the constant negative loop of staying where you are, and you know what I'm talking about, then you can't get to where you want to go. You have to let go if you are going to have the more that you want. It's that simple. Remember, we only have a finite amount. We can only process so much. So in order to get to the more that we want, we have to let go of the sum of the stuff, or it's not going to happen. Fear is amplified by the unknown and the uncertainty. I know that so well now. And I bet you do too. We try to understand it all, don't we? And here's the thing that I want you to know. Sometimes it just goes beyond understanding. That's okay. And we're always going to be asking, well, why? I just don't understand this. I just don't get it. And sometimes it's okay to just leave that and let it be answered later if it's going to be answered at all, rather than spend all of your focus and all of your energy on that. Because sometimes there aren't answers. So Instead, what if we went to the what if place? Remember the what if place? You know how it is. We allowed for the stuff to be bubbling up. We allow for the processing. We allow for all of it. And then we also let God know that here we are available, and we're ready to go to the next higher level. What if we did that? Because that gets us out of the wallow pit, out of the quicksand, It gets us out of it, because it creates an open heart instead of a closed one. It creates opportunity instead of bitterness. It shows us that there is so much more available for us when we let go. When we let go. And they're all decisions, and it's painful. Oh my gosh, it's painful. But it's necessary for growth. Your life, my life, we're all magic. Do you believe that? Of course you do. It's magic. Why are you here? You are not a biological accident. You are here on purpose and for purpose. Right now, today. And part of the thing that needs to happen is that you need something in your life, and let God show you. He will. You need to let go of something. It might be a physical something. It might be something inside. It might be an attachment to a relationship. Whatever it is, allow for that. Because I'll tell you what, I'm available for it. I'm available for the next level. Are you? If you want that next level of living, if you want that vibrancy that just makes your whole skin vibrate and sparkle, then you're going to be ready for this, and you're going to allow for it. And I don't know about you, but I'm saying to God every single day, next level up, please. I'm ready to go. What about you? Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my lessons from 63 years and counting. Don't forget, if you have missed any of our announcements, you can find them at savingdinner.com/announcement. That's where you're going to find our special deals of the day, special deals for the week, and all of the goodies that we have going on. And I do appreciate all of you, of course. You who are in Inner Circle, can't wait to see you tonight. Please be there tonight. It's 7 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget, it's our last night together. We're reading our letters. It's going to be really intense. Love you. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, pinkies up.